sisters of mercy they are.
Welcoming in any language means a hopeful hello. It means your presence is honored, your presence is meaningful, and that you're a child of God. In a church like ours, we have the ability to make people feel the warmth of Christ as well as the welcoming words.
The struggles of being really welcoming is be able to listen to others and to be able to then incorporate our ideas together. Struggles are really sitting down and listening to one another's stories, and taking the time and not being defensive about where I'm coming from in my story and where you're coming from in your story, and how do we blend all of that together.
You who must leave everything.
Because St. Julie's is modeled after the PACT organization system or model, people are encouraged to get to know each other through one-to-one conversations, and I think that really helps people feel welcome.
Well, I've been way off.
I'm from an Indian background. Both my parents are immigrants from India. My mom came over here because my grandma had already filed for citizenship for her, and she had already received the citizenship to come over here. My dad, however, had to stay in India for a couple more years because he was waiting for his visa. For my parents, they had to wait so long for their visa to come here. My parents tell me that they were struggling. Basically, they're living paycheck to paycheck. They wouldn't buy anything outside. They were worried if they would have the money to buy formula for me.
I've always dreamed that if I ever had a chance to come into USA, was to come in and work so I can provide food and money for my parents, that they were really struggling to get the everyday, to put everyday food on the table. But once you get to the border, it's difficult, it's tough. You get scared, you get nervous. I mean, you just put your life right down on the line. But I guess with all the needs that you have, that's one thing they'll just leave behind and just go for it, go for the dream.
My mother sacrificed herself and joined the U.S. Army to bring my father over from the Philippines. And I never really realized what people do to get to their dream.
They were sleeping, I hope you run in.
Be open to learning. Education is the key to diversity. The more you understand, the more you'll make the connectors to, while I've experienced the same thing you're talking about, but I never thought your culture did that. That's the best way to start the process. Diversity is a constant learning process, but it's a fun one. We shouldn't be scared of it. And when you have someone like Jesus, who was the one who taught us how to interact with people with diseases, or who are downtrodden by the politics of the day, or they just couldn't be equal because of their gender. He taught us just reach out and shake their hand and give them a hug and say, come on, join us, walk with us. It'll be okay. That's something that we are empowered to do.
For me, it goes back to the personal stories. For me to sit and to listen has changed my heart.
They were waiting for me when I thought that